The US Defense Secretary criticized NATO allies for not getting involved in the war with Iran and then announced a review of US forces in Europe. Hegseth said it's intended to transform NATO into an alliance focused on hard power and real deterrence. And he said some countries will fail the review while others will pass with flying colours. Fabrice Pothier used to be NATO's head of policy planning. He's now the CEO of Rasmussen Global. Fabrice, is this a sort of a veiled, well, you made your bed, now you got to lie in it and we're not going to be nice about it? I mean, it's hard to say what is this a genuine bona fide review, or is it eking out revenge for those who didn't join in?
Well, I don't think there's anything essentially new here. This is something that has been out there for a good year, and more clearly since the last ministerial in February, when the US administration representative talked about NATO 3.0, which essentially meant less US and more Europe. I think the Europeans are slowly but surely factoring this in. However, where you're right is I think Hegseth was trying to be a bit meaner and a bit scarier, a bit like a school teacher who will deliver, the marks live on television during the Ankara summit. And I think this is the bully tactics that we have been seeing for the past years from this US administration. And right. The Europeans are, again, getting ready, even if there's a slight discomfort.
Yes, but are the Europeans, from your soundings in Europe, is their view, we've been here before, we'll take it on the chin, or now enough's enough? You've been at this game before. Hegseth, you are not Donald Trump. If you want to do this, go ahead, but you'll take the consequences.
No, I think it's more, there's a new sense of realism here in Europe where we need now to Europeanize NATO. And the questions are much more practical. It's like, how do we do that? And how do we do that at scale and at speed so that within few years, we're able to do a major European operations in Europe without necessarily having US support. And this is really the kind of sense of urgency, I think, that is now falling on European capitals.
But that requires both increased spending, which many nations have agreed to do. It also requires greater political will. But perhaps the biggest, weakest link is political coordination on all of this. Military coordination, NATO is absolutely brilliant at. Political coordination amongst the member nations can feel very dark sometimes.
Yeah, and I don't think we are going to solve this by the Ankara summit at the beginning of July. But I think there is an awareness we need to defragment Europe when it comes to acquisition of key capabilities. And we need to a NATO 3.0, we need to think about a procurement 3.0. We need to take more risk in buying things, even if those things are not necessarily going to be as perfect as a Tomahawk cruise missile.
All right, but give me the insider's point of view, because you're well and truly plugged in. We've been at this for 18 months with versions of threats and coming from the administration. You say we need to do this, we need to do that. Are measures already being taken to actively improve the situation, or are we still just discussing around the subject?
Well, look at the numbers. NATO Secretary General Rutte said it himself. We have seen a 20% defense spending increase over the past year. And look at Germany. I mean, Germany is the locomotive of this European defense surge. And now Germany, by the end of the decade, will be spending 165 billion euro a year. So in a way, if Germany succeeds in doing this at scale and at speed, Europe will be in a good place. If Germany fails, we'll be in a worse place. So I think it's happening. Is it happening fast enough and in a coordinated way enough? No. But I think there's now a new sense of urgency you did not have even a year ago.
I'm grateful, Fabrice, you put it elegantly and eloquently for us, and we now understand more. Thank you, sir.